To today's edition of the Software Spotlight. And today we have joining us from Poland, we have Blaze Abel. He's the CEO and co-founder of Landingi. And I'd like to welcome you to the podcast today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thanks for invitation, Michael.
And to bring our customers into the loop, what I was hoping we could talk a little bit of how the idea for Landingi came to be and a little bit about what the product is all about.
Okay. Oh, so the story about Landingi is pretty long when it comes to startup world, and because Landingi is currently almost 12 years on the market. However, we started out as an interactive agency in 2005, and the idea behind Landingi was because we were doing a lot of web design and helping SMBs to go online. We built the websites, plus we prepared the campaigns for them, and mostly it was the Google Ads at those times. And we were facing the problem of conversion rates and how we can help them to get more leads. And of course, some kind of solution for this customer were landing pages, and that was something we tried to bring them as easy as possible. But always we also face the problem that they don't want to pay for this, and because they spend a lot of for building website, they spend a lot of for clicks, and there was not a lot of budget for landing pages. And our idea and first idea was not directly to landing pages, but how we can create websites easier and faster, so the customers can just get this as some kind of additional benefit from building Google ad campaigns with us.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
That was the story, and there was also some kind of startup hype starting in Poland. It was like 2011, and they start with Google Startup Weekends events in Poland. And the first one I had to miss because my wife was pregnant and we were waiting for the baby, and I couldn't join the event. But I told myself, okay, next event I need to go and I will pitch my idea about landing pages. And
Well,
that's
that's a
happening.
great reason to opt out of a conference. So no
Yeah,
worries.
yeah. So yeah, and I pitched this on October 2011, and so we just got such great feedback about our idea that there's a huge need on the market, that everyone faced this problem, that everyone would like to have the really good conversion rate and control what's going on in the campaigns, not paying tons of dollars for doing this, and be agile when it comes to optimizing and building this pages at scale. And so for 2 years, almost 2 years, it was like some kind of side project in my agency. So between the projects, we were doing Landingi, but we were so into this that in 2013, I decided to take the seed round with the Polish VC fund, and 100% focus on Landingi, and that's over 10 years now how we are doing this as a regular company.
And I have to say that the concept is just as relevant today as it was when the company started, if not even more so. I can tell you that advertising costs have continued to accelerate, and I know a lot of our listeners are spending just a tremendous amount of ad budget just to bring consumers to their site, and the level of conversion is really the only factor that that is key to making these campaigns successful. So
That's correct. So nothing has changed here. I think cost per click is still going up. Google need to make more money. So
sure.
uh, we don't have a choice. Just need to pay for this. However, with, for example, landing pages, which is a really great tactic for good conversion rates. We can be more personalized. We can tailor the message better for the audience we are trying to target. So from each dollar we are spending, we can be more efficient using landing pages and personalize our communication to the audience we are targeting.
So at a high level, those are really the key problems that the product is looking to solve for marketers.
Yeah, so I think there's two buckets of the problems that we are solving. The first one, of course, is this around how efficient you can build your campaigns and everything around conversion rate optimization and building landing pages at scale and optimize them. However, the second part of the problem is that even someone exactly know how to build a landing page, there's a lot of technical work behind. You need to have a really good infrastructure. You need to face all these industry standards, have the great page speed, secure this landing page to get the right leads, to not getting too much spam and so on. So there's a lot of technical issues behind landing pages that if you would like to solve this by yourself without the software dedicated to this, there's probably 2 or 3 people to organize this. And many customers we have in the past, building the landing page just take too much time because they need to wait for front-end developer, back-end developer, and there was a lot of friction
Sure.
between those teams. And we know developers are super busy guys, and they don't want to waste their time for landing pages. This kind of simple things, they are for bigger ideas than landing pages. So it's not necessarily the best task you need to assign to your front-end developer or your even back-end developer.
Sure, and the technology obviously applies to across a lot of vertical markets.
Correct.
Clearly Landingi is a veteran in the landing page space. Obviously, is one of the first in the space. Um, can you talk a little bit to how, what features of the product really make it stand out as compared to other solutions that some of our listeners might be looking into?
Sure. So when it comes to Landingi, of course, the very important part of our platform is our builder. And we call this builder Pixel Perfect Builder, because the way how you build, and that was always our idea behind the builder, is that it's some kind of like Photoshop but in the browser, and you could just build the website the same way. So you are not building the landing page trying to fit your elements into somehow grid or some kind of placements where you're just choosing where to put image or something. You have the complete freedom how you position elements, and that's something that differentiate us from this building or designing process perspective, that a lot of business owners and marketers really appreciate this option, because for them it's easier, because they don't need to think about CSS and how to position elements. They can just build as they want, and they get the same result in the browsers. So that's something that really customers enjoy, and of course it's always is something that it's behind, and it's extra effort from our perspective. Of course it will be easier for us to build this kind of builder based on some kind of grid or placements, uh, but we know how this freedom is important for business owners, and how sensitive they are about their brand colors and elements that they would like to put exactly as they want. So that's the first part. The second part of the platform is the way how you publish landing pages. So it's not necessarily you need to do this on our platform. We know that the WordPress is super popular in many industries, and many people use it because it's super when it comes to SEO. So we have
Sure.
the WordPress plugin. You could use a WordPress plugin to install the landing pages within your website. You can redirect the domain to Landingi to publish this using our infrastructure. There is also the way they can just download the PHP file and put this on your server if it's necessary to just keep it everything on your side. So there
Okay.
is a couple of different approaches how you can publish. And in the third part, because and this part is about the infrastructure, and the third part is about data. So once you have landing pages and they are published on the infrastructure and they are live on the internet, um, we collect the data and we help you to optimize landing pages. So we have a built-in feature for A/B testing, where you can just try to find the best design and the best copy to convert your customers. As well as we collect some additional information currently, where we launched this just a couple of days ago, the micro conversion tracking tool, which will be crucial in the coming weeks or maybe not weeks, but in the near future, because everything is going to be AI, machine learning, and so on. So you will be as good with your campaigns as good data you will feed your advertising platform. So micro conversions is something that helps to understand advertising system like Google Ads to optimize the campaigns based on the data you are sending to them. So 3 buckets. First, design and pixel perfect builder, then very flexible infrastructure for publishing, and the third, data, where we help you to understand and optimize what you've built.
Well, that's very helpful. And I can tell you, having been the sales and marketing director for a couple of large outdoor sporting goods companies, the interface between marketing and developers, is always interesting, and it can get very expensive to implement ideas on the fly and quickly. Uh, you know, Spending tens of thousands of dollars on development for something just for an individual company doesn't make a whole lot of sense anymore in today's environment. And clearly having something like this as a tool that anyone in a marketing department can you know test and deploy quickly, adhering to the company branding and colors and messaging and all of that is amazing. Um, what that brings me to: are there certain types of businesses or vertical markets that you see? You obviously it can work across many, if not any industry, but I know some of the industries that really use landing page builders quite a bit are, car dealerships, financial services, real estate. Are there any specific industries that you see gaining the most benefit from this type of solution?
That's a good question. I think you pointed that the landing page builder is very flexible when it comes to the industries you can just serve. You can just start with a blank template and just build whatever you want. So we see a lot of industries using it. I think you point the right industries where we see our top players. It's the real estate. Of course, there's a lot of marketing services, a lot of small businesses, freelance marketing freelancers using our platform to build landing pages also for other businesses. So the marketing and advertising, that's the biggest part of the categories. Real estate, but we also see growing pretty fast SaaS businesses. They are also
Okay.
looking for more and more landing pages. Very successful are car dealers. That's also some segment where we see there's such a lot of things they need to do with communicating to the customers. Always new models of the cars and different promotions, and there's such a lot of number of websites you need to build. So it's working pretty well, and I think that car dealers, for example, is a good like the real estate. So every industry where you need to build a lot of landing pages, you need to that your offer is changing frequently, and you need to advertise what you are selling. We also see it depends of course how we call the industry, but health and beauty, or traveling, that's our industries where where you still have the new offer, and that you change the offer compared to what's going on the market, what the weather is, and so on. So it's this kind of platform like Landingi can help you very well if you change your offer during the year, and that's
Sure, and
that's
I
that's
can
very helpful. Yeah, and
see
of course,
that.
not and of course not necessarily to the industry, but there is some kind of events during the year, like for example Black Friday. Like everyone would like to build a landing page with some kind of dedicated offer, no matter what kind of business you are doing. That's something where landing pages are great.
So really for seasonal promotions, or I
Correct.
could see in the real estate industry where clearly they're developing leads in general, but maybe specific leads for different properties or different events or the like. That might be a great use case for a landing page builder.
Correct.
Okay, great. And what about gaming and entertainment? Is that an industry that you see using landing page builders when in conjunction with their advertising campaigns?
Yes, they are, as well as we see also trending projects around NFT and cryptocurrencies. That's also this kind of segment of, I would say,
Sure,
digital goods. We were selling this more like a digital goods. Of course, it's very popular as well.
absolutely. Well, I was hoping that you could give our listeners and viewers just a uh, quick high level overview of the product itself so that they can get a feel for all the magic that we're talking about here and get an idea as to how it might work for them.
Sure. Let me share the screen with you. Okay. I think it's working properly. Okay.
Perfect.
So that's Landingi. First screen you will see is the list of landing pages that you've built. Of course, the first step is just to create a landing page. So we have, as we discussed this before, a couple of ways um, how you can choose the template. Depends on the goal you have, or for example the industries you represent. What is very important, and it's something that it's worth to remember, that it's the builder, so you can use any template, and you can just adjust to your industry. So it's not necessary need to be exactly from the one industry, because it's never possible to cover all the needs on the market with the templates.
Sure.
However, you choose, for example, you would like to make the webinar about, you are from the health and beauty industry. So let's think about how you would like to build. And what is important is that every element can be adjusted. That's for sure. But it's not only the builder of the website, but of course in the system you also have the form builder. And that's also something important, that you don't need to combine a couple of tools together, because you have the form builder, and you can exactly uh, add the element you would like to have in your landing page. Plus, which is very common, is that you can just integrate this form with your marketing stack you're already using. So probably, most customers are even start with some kind of simple Google spreadsheet, which is very, very popular integration
Sure.
from those we have, Google Sheets, because still in many companies the Google Docs is, sometimes the CRM, but whatever, is the way how you organize your work or work with the rest of the team. So many integrations that you can use, and I think the most popular apps for from the marketing perspective or the business perspective is here. Of course, you can just also integrate this with your email, so you can just get the notifications. Plus, which is also very important, is that you can just prepare autoresponder message. So it's another tool you don't have to buy. You can just send the first message to the customer once they sign up, for example, for the webinar.
And I
So
think that's so important, being a mature product, having the level of integration and the variety of different apps that have already been integrated with the product is a key differentiator. I think that is something you say it so lightly, but it is such an important component to a landing page builder.
yeah, I think that's I think it's landing page builders migrate to the more like a small platforms, because we are just a couple of tools together, because it's a builder, but it's a form builder, it's an autoresponder, it's the integration hub, it's the infrastructure, hosting, A/B testing, and so on. So there's a lot of tools combined together. Of course, the focus is about landing page, and that's something which is the starting point for everyone. But yeah, that's why we built this tool. So everything is working pretty smoothly on a drag and drop approach. So you can just build from section templates that are different templates ready to use in our library. But you can just also start with just blank section, and depends on how many columns you would like to divide your design. So it could be something that will be helpful for you. So we have this section here, and of course the elements are just drag and drop. So you have this you have this way to just easily put the element. And what I mentioned at the beginning, you just put this exactly where you want. It's not that you're just dropping it and it's like going this way. It's
Yeah,
very smooth, and you could just put the element exactly where you want. And of course, we are probably most of market leaders also putting more and more AI into the platform. So we also help customers to build the whole copy for the landing page using AI. So once you describe your product and your landing page goal, we will prepare all copy for the landing page, so it's easy for you to start. And what's included in each landing page, and it's also important, especially from the metric perspective, we also include the thank you page. That's the way where we count the conversions, and that's super. When you're using Google Ads or Facebook Ads or other, there are many customers are looking how to paste the conversion pixel, and how
right.
we trigger this. So the conversion pixel is very important. So we have the separate page with a separate URL address that is prepared for for this action, but also to confirm to the customer that the conversion happened. And of course, there is a separate mobile view, which is also something that differentiate us from other builders. So you can just build this view separately and decide, for example, what kind of elements you would like to hide on a mobile to make it just shorter and easier to consume from the customer perspective. So if I will decide to not put this element on the viewport, this will not appear, and I can just make it more lighter from the customer perspective. And I think that's could be something similar from Photoshop or Figma, that you have just different layers, elements, and you can decide about showing the image or not, and that's how it's working.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think that's a very brief overview of the builder. It's super easy. It's super easy to use. And then once you're ready, you just go and publish. And again, here another AI feature, so you can complete the SEO. So yeah, we are not currently into the whole copy for the website, so I'll be not going there. But a lot of small tweaks by AI to make your work pretty fast. And let's go. Okay, my session expired. Let me log in once again here.
Sure, no worries. But I think the core technology is very exciting for a lot of marketers, because at the end of the day, whether it's Facebook advertising or Google advertising, or no matter what the platform is, we continue to see different metrics of conversions and advertising cost becoming more important to marketing
Great.
departments.
Yeah. So once again, let's publish. Okay, and we will see, that the landing page is publishing. And yeah, here you have, there's a the preview link, so you can just use it and share with your team before you publish this under your domain. But you could add domain, you could publish this on the WordPress, or download this on your server. So a couple of ways how you can publish the landing page, which can be also very important for the customers. For advanced, I would say enterprise class customers, we also offer a reverse proxy publishing option, but it's more advanced and it's a manual setup, but it's also a very rare feature when it comes to landing page builders.
Now, let me ask, for
Sure.
clients that are on different platforms, obviously WordPress is a very significant portion of the market, but for a customer that might be on Shopify or Magento or some other platforms like that, are there different ways of integrating the landing pages?
So e-commerce is more specific, and for this segment, there are separate platforms that are focused only on landing pages for those platforms that are
Okay.
available on the marketplaces. Uh, the regular builders like we have, we don't have this kind of integration, because you need to be integrated into the product stack, delivery, transactions, invoicing, and so on. So there's a lot of things that need to
Okay. So
happen.
the best use case for it is a CMS like WordPress or other platforms on that idea.
Yeah, and the best use case is not necessarily if you are selling the products from your shop. It's more like if you are selling digital goods, the landing pages are great.
Sure.
And or we have also very good examples when you are launching the new product and you are just make the pre-order campaign, and that's the landing page. And then you use landing page to use. Many customers use landing pages to build this kind of websites to sell pre-order, and it works pretty well because it's easier when you have one product to sell it through the landing page. It's
Sure.
not so easy to build the cart with a couple of products, calculate the cost of delivery, and so on. So that's
Yeah, it's not
how it
the
works.
focus of the
Yeah.
technology. Sure.
So once you have landing page, let's go to the dashboard. Um, you have the very basic stats when it comes to what kind of events. So we count visits, leads, and of course the conversion rate, so we can see how it's working. With the optimization, so we have the A/B tests. So you can just build different variants of the landing page, decide what kind of percentage of the traffic every variant should get, and then we just start counting the conversions and help you to decide what kind of version of the landing page will give you the best results. There is a separate, it's very important because marketers are using a lot of JavaScripts, and you need to put a lot of JavaScript. So it's very very easy to add the JavaScript, decide where it should be positioned, and it should be on the main page, thank you page, or both. We are our approach from the beginning is no code, but sometimes you need to paste. But even if you are pasting, we are trying to give you the experience of no code as much as
Sure.
we can. So that's the way, and that's how we are doing this.
Perfect.
Yeah, and what I will also would like to point here is that we also build a feature called Smart Section, and that's very popular in our platform, because once if you have many landing pages, some part of the landing pages are similar, like for example testimonials, pricing, or some kind of legal notes. And if you have dozens of landing pages and then you need to change, for example, pricing or your social proof section, in many tools, you need to do this separately for each landing page. So it's copy paste work, and you just need to do this manually. We have the smart sections to solve this problem. So once you added your smart section, it will affect all landing pages which are using this smart section. So it's very helpful to save you a ton of time.
That is
uh,
fantastic.
and it's very popular when it comes to our users. Yeah, and of course we help to organize leads. So all leads, of course, you can just send them through the integration, whatever is your CRM, Google Sheets, or whatever. But also it's something where we collect the leads as well, because it's always can happen that integration is not working, and it's not necessarily on the Landingi side, but it's just the API is not working.
Sure.
Endpoints.
No, that never happens.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
always perfect in every.
Yeah, so it's something that
Yeah.
can happen. So we always save the lead in our platform, so you can also take the information about this, or you can also mark as a
Right.
spam, so we can just also learn our system what leads are good and what kind of leads we should avoid, or what kind of API addresses we should, for example, block, to just give you the best data that you can get. So
And
that's yeah,
that
that's
brings me
how it's working.
to a good question. I know a lot. It's a hot topic now. In terms of like security and compliance, GDPR, can you talk a little bit to that in terms of all of the leads and things like that? Because I know GDPR compliance is very important in a lot of markets.
That's a tricky question. I think, of course, we are GDPR compliant.
For the
It's
platform in general.
Yeah, as a
Okay.
platform,
Great.
yes. We also prepared the way how you can just sign necessary document with us to make it super smooth for you.
Great.
So everything is in place, but we need to remember that overall the GDPR is in the most cases on our customer side, and they need to have this process in place in their companies and
Sure.
how they work. But overall, it's something that we covered, and GDPR is especially important in Europe. So we have our data center in Europe, so everything is in place how this should be organized.
Perfect. Perfect. And were
Good.
there
Yeah.
other
So
other
yeah,
key features?
when it
Yeah.
comes to what maybe also can be interesting for users, or someone who is listening to us, is something that you could also use custom fonts. I know it's not popular in this kind of tools, or a couple of them are requesting an extra money to use the custom font. I know that that's something very important for business owners who design or use a specific font that is related to their brand. So you can just add the font, your custom, or you can use Google fonts. So it's very easy to just to add the font to your landing page and customize and make the best experience from the design perspective for your customers.
And I have to say, the landing pages from having used it are super fast. So obviously you've done something with the tech stack on that end of it to optimize things. That's pretty impressive.
That was a tough part of the work with the platform. I think we spent on this, probably more than 3 years to deliver this kind of experience.
Sure.
Of course, it's important from the customer perspective how many JavaScripts they are using or what kind of images or videos they are using on the landing page. Because of course, if it's too long and there's too many this kind of elements, it's no matter of the infrastructure you have, there will be always more delay, and the page speed result will be not so great. But
Right.
overall, we are very proud of what we've built when it comes to the infrastructure and how it's organized, because our infrastructure is also spread all over the world. We have 24 data centers we are using to serve landing pages. So that's also very good for those who are advertising their services worldwide, because they can be sure that the landing page will be published from the nearest server and infrastructure to their customers. But of course, it
Great.
was tricky, and still there is a couple things that we can improve, and it's happening. So yeah, but thanks for pointing this out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no, I was
appreciate
very
that.
impressed with that.
Yeah.
The other thing, I know a lot of our listeners are always keeping up on the latest trends in the industry and what's going on, now and where things are moving towards. Can you speak to what you see as some of the high level trends, specifically in the landing page design and creation segment of the market?
So what I can say, how we see and how it's changing from a while is the customers trying to be as personal as they can be to the audience. And
Right?
a couple of years ago, marketers tried more to build one landing page and build the A/B testing to just find the best version of this landing page. But now what we see is that they are building just dozens of landing pages that are tailored to the specific niches they are targeting. And we see that this kind of approach is much better, because many of businesses can't afford to put such amount of traffic on the landing page to get the right results from the A/B test. You need to have thousands of traffic on the landing page to understand which variant of the landing page is better. In
Right.
many small businesses, just have just hundreds of visits, which is not enough. In the strategy, because the advertising is growing, is that they spread the budget into the couple of customer groups and build dedicated landing pages to each of the group they are targeting, which is a fantastic strategy for the customers, because you are getting more leads, and your customers feel the offer is better tailored to their needs. So that's the first one trend we see. Of course, the second trend, very very huge hype currently, is AI, and how this will
Sure.
affect. Everyone is currently trying to find a way how to use it and how to deliver the best results. I think a lot of optimization in the near future will happen automatically by AI, and that's also something we are working on to just sometimes we see that someone who is not very experienced with landing pages and building campaigns, they even don't have the idea what to build next or what to test. So
Right.
that's something where
So ideation
AI.
and
Yeah, yeah,
brainstorming
yeah.
and
So
generating ideas.
exactly.
Sure.
So benchmarking with your competitors, seeing what they are doing, what are the trends in your industry, and combine this with what you've built in an account. That's something that AI can bring to the table. And of
Sure.
course, what I think, but that's more my personal view on the industry, is we observe that big guys are trying to close the ecosystem in their networks, it's something that I don't like, for example, because it's something
Sure.
that affect landing pages and the sense of building landing pages. If you click on the link, for example, in LinkedIn, they're always asking you, "Are you sure you would like to leave LinkedIn?" So there is
Yeah.
always something. They start putting something in between because everyone would like to keep the traffic around their service, their network,
Sure.
and I think these big players will still growing the or still trying to um, change the customer behavior and would like to keep them into the networks that we have. And I think there are pros and cons. Of course, a couple of customers will come back to to LinkedIn, but the others will land on the landing page. And overall, I think that there will be more and more companies that will care about their privacy, and they
Right.
don't necessarily would like to know put the information to Google or Facebook or LinkedIn who is converting to them and how much they are paying for this and who they are, because they would like to keep those information in their own on their own way, because in this scenario I think the privacy model is work exactly how it should be working. But if you are showing this to your advertising system, how much valuable leads you are getting, probably you will pay more in the future. So I think there will be also the trend that more and more companies, especially in the B2B, because I'm sure B2C will be, go around different platforms, but B2B probably will go more into the privacy and care about how they collect how they build the lead generation, and it probably will happen outside of social networks. The closing lead generation will be outside the social networks, but that's my way of thinking. So it's not confirmed still.
Sure. Well, obviously, the user experience is key, and if the trends are evolving, and it creates some friction in the user experience, that's challenging. But
Correct.
the other question, and you hinted towards this in terms of one of the features of the tool is the ability to have automated series of messaging and all of that. Can you talk a little bit about the trend towards automation and how you're seeing that impacting the space?
uh, I think that currently marketing is getting more and more complicated, and um, the basic idea about the automation, I think, will depend on how you organize your marketing stack. I think that the trend currently is that you should start with your CDP, so it's customer data platform, which is some kind of core of information that you're gathering about the customer, and it is the central place where you put all the information. And I think that's very important when it comes to the automation, to have the really good source of truth about your customers. Uh, because once you have the right central place where you gathering all the information, it's easier um, to build the automation maybe through this CDP platform that is offering, but also it's easier to integrate point solution where you would like to organize your automation to this CDP platform. So that's how I see the automation. That it's very important when it comes to the data and how you collect the data, and then from this central point, some kind of data warehouse, you feed other point solutions that you help you automate the communication. Because I don't, from my perspective, and how also I see how Landingi is changing during the time, is that I think we switch email marketing software 5 times during the last 10 years,
Sure.
because our needs are changing and the business is changing, and that's how it's very important to care a lot about the data, because you always find a way how to automate your marketing, but not necessarily it will be easier to move the data from one provider to another one. It's better
Right.
to separate your data from the providers. So that's something how I see the automation, because the trends will be changing, and there will be a different type of automations depend on the moment of the market. Currently, there's more and more AI chatbots, for example, and different solutions based on AI and some kind of autopilot. Not so far away, it was a lot of marketing automation platform like this kind of building email workflows and so on. So there's now more and more TikTok is popular, and for example, depends on the region, WhatsApp messaging is important. So such a lot of different channels, and there is I will be not looking for one tool to cover each of the channel. I think there are just specific leaders in each channel that you need to connect to your marketing stack, but it's very important to have the right data in place.
Fantastic. Well, I think it highlights the point of fewer and fewer tools required, as long as you're choosing best in class in each area. Can you give us an example or two of a client of Landingi, and how they might be using the product and how they're seeing success with the technology? Maybe some some ideas of some specific use cases.
Yeah, so I will tell you something that can sound funny, but there was a time we were trying to figure out what is the best landing page design, because that's the question someone always asking us. So what is the how to build a landing page that converts the best? And that's tricky, of course, because it depends on your offer. Your offer need to be something interesting for your customers. And we were gathering, I think from on those time in our database was over 1 million landing pages, and we are trying to categorize them and understand what's going on there, who had the biggest success on our platform. And it was funny that uh, the most successful users of our platform are those who have the really good um, audience, a specific niche, and they offer problem solver for this specific niche, the painkiller for them. And in this case, it's no matter how you design your landing page, because your offer is market killer, and you're just getting everything from your audience. If you are so it's very important to tailor um, uh, messaging and the offer to the audience you have. And that's funny, because I would never recommend to build landing pages such way, but they have a really good conversion rates because there's a good match between offer and the audience. So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway, I think we have a huge company, the media company in Poland. It's the Warner Bros. The Discovery Group, a media company in Poland, and they, for example, uh, they rebooted the process how they organize their marketing campaigns and how they build websites for these campaigns, and they save a ton of time. So the whole team is around the platform in building landing pages and optimize them, as well as for new customers, and as well to the existing customers, different communication, hundreds of landing pages, and a great success when it comes to the results. But the biggest success for them is not necessarily the conversion rate in this case, but the way how they change the process in the company, how they build landing pages, how much they save of marketing budget, going this to this DIY platform and being independent from agencies, developers, IT department, security, and so on. Of course, once we pass all of them before starting. So I think it depends on what your success is. For a important part of our customers, the success is how they can design landing page. It's very important that it can be one of their idea, and that they can just build exactly what they want, which is not possible in every platform. So it's something that that depends on what's your audience, what's your goal, and why you start using the platform. But the use cases are uh, very different. For example, we are also very successful when it comes to Landingi and using this for HR and our recruitment process. So that's something where you can just, of course, post your job offer into portals that gathering this kind of offers, but it's not something that it's unique. But a couple of people in the company are from our landing pages, and because we
Sure.
target them through Facebook and LinkedIn ads, because we exactly know who we are looking for, and that was interesting because this was people who are not was looking for a job, but
Oh,
because
interesting.
we are very
Micro targeted.
yeah, we have a good idea when it comes to how attract them, and they see, I that's interesting, I like this company, and they just came into the process and became landingers. So that's something I think that it's unusual
Well,
when
it
you
speaks
think about landing.
volumes that, yeah, that
Yeah,
you're using your own product in
yeah.
some very creative ways.
Yeah, we have different different use cases in our company, but the HR and the recruitment process and attracting people who are not using, who are not looking for for changing the job, that was something that Landingi solve our problem.
Very nice. Now, obviously, lead generation, signups for webinars, signups for software, are all very, very traditional use cases for a landing page builder.
Yes.
Um, uh, Obviously, we're coming up to the holidays, and a lot of marketers are starting to put on their hats for Q4 with Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Christmas and all of the different events that are taking place. Can you speak to how the platform helps or enables some of these creative assets on the fly for marketing departments?
Sure. So of course we have dedicated templates for this kind of events, especially like Black Friday and everything that's happened then. But what I would like to advise here for everyone who is listening to us is that you should start thinking about now. So, for example, it's good to build first the landing page. I would say coming soon landing page. So you just could just put some kind of counter and collect email addresses or phone numbers that you will inform once the offer is live. And our experience in Landingi is that almost the whole year we are using always the same URL, and the whole year someone just put the email to get the offer on Black Friday. So a very good advice, and we are very happy with the results that we are getting, is to just keep one same URL for this kind of holiday events and how you would like to organize and use it for your business, because customers are looking for this almost whole year, and trying to find some kind of coupons or discounts and looking for discounts. So the first is keep the same URL, build the coming soon page, collect the emails or phone numbers before the event is starting, and then launch the event, build the landing page. And what is important, I think, is try to close the transaction on the landing page. So try to make the sale directly on the landing page, not try to make it too complicated, or that you need to sign up or log in somewhere and so on. Make it as smooth as possible. to use your offer. So
So a very clear call to action and a
very
very,
clear call to
yeah.
action and very easy to use. Not more than 3 steps to buy. And I think it's also and it should we see that it's also important to remember. Uh, People currently are all over the world. Remember that the time zone can be also important. Keep that. There's always night somewhere at the moment in the day. So Black Friday or all these kind of events are different in the different regions. So it's important to keep in mind that it's sometimes worth to start a little bit earlier and keep it a little bit longer. You know, we even just keep the offer from Black Friday until Cyber Monday. Plus, I think we add 12 hours plus in each range to
Yeah, it's a very
cover
good
the
point.
whole world, because we have customers from over 70 countries. So Australia, Europe, US, so different time zones, and it's worth also to remember about this.
Yeah, and that was impressive to me. The just the sheer volume of customers using the Landingi platform is just incredible. It really seems to have evolved to a very mature platform.
Yes.
So my final question, and I don't know if this is something you can share with us or not. Are there any new features that are on the horizon, or that have just recently been released, or that you're diligently working on, that you can share with listeners on the podcast?
Sure. So yeah, just a couple of days ago, we've launched a very early version of our event. We call this feature Events Tracker. It's the add-on to our platform, and it's responsible for tracking micro conversions. As I said, it's a very early stage version, but we'll bring more experience into this to help our customers understand better what converts. What it's the bigger idea behind this, because we also believe that the data will be very important in the future. Is they are very important now, but they will be even more important than nowadays. So we would like to collect as many data points about customer behavior on the landing page, so you can use it and put it to your CDP or your data warehouse or your advertising system. So very flexible when it comes how you will connect the data to the different tools you are using. But we think that that's very important part of our platform in the coming months. And of course, on the second part, it's something that we are also, but it's more in the future, is something that I mentioned as well, that different platforms will have different formats. So we also would like to go outside only the landing page. As we know, uh, already you can build one pagers, you can build microsites, but there will be also other formats that will be delivering to the customers. We think about social graphics or CTA boxes that you could put to your blog. So a couple of different digital formats that you can also use with our editor. And I think here the AI and the possibilities that we will have in the near future will help to automatize this work. So once you build the landing page, it will be easier to deliver to the customer a couple of other formats of digital assets they are using in the marketing campaigns.
Well, it's very exciting. I mean, the product is fantastic as it is now, and it sounds like it's only getting better. For listeners that are looking to get started with Landingi, we'll obviously leave a link in the show notes. But is there some sort of a free trial offer, or what is the onboarding process to get up and running?
Yeah, so the regular accounts are starting with a 14 days free trial. With the plans are full featured. The only limitation through the free trial is the number of traffic that you can put. But it's enough to test everything. You can connect your domain or publish, so everything is working, and you have a fully featured account. So
Fantastic.
everything, yeah, and of course, uh, during the free trial period, it's also easy to, and I strongly recommend this, to set up the introduction call. So as we can just, step by step help you to understand how you can use the platform. So it's worth to use it also when you are in a free trial period.
Well, today we've been speaking with Blaise Abel, CEO and co-founder of Landingi, coming to us from Poland. Blaise, I'd really like to thank you for taking the time to share your solution with our listeners. And like I said, we'll leave a link in the show notes for anyone that would like to give it a try and get up and running on the platform. And as we're coming to the holidays, on our next episode, we'll be featuring a MRP product from Katana, and we'll actually have one of the partner directors, Sean Coltis, coming to us from here in the US to talk about how Katana can help with inventory needs over the holidays. And it's an actual cloud inventory management system. So that really ties in, and we thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.